How much time could Jumbo-Visma take on a storming Tadej Pogacar? This was the pivotal team time trial, 32 kilometers long, two corners in Paris-Nice, pancake flat, just about. They had some new rules for casual fans like me, increase the excitement. The first rider sets the team's time. Everybody gets their own GC time. Happy days. How will the teams play the tactics? Will they do a sprint lead out? Jaco Alula absolutely flying. They got a fast setup. The team is low-key, high-key, to quote LeBron James, very good in a team time trial. Kel O'Brien, know he's watching. He is an absolute beast. The Bahrain victorious set a pretty good time at check one, but then Jaco blew it out the water. Simon Yates is their GC guy, and Matthews could also go into the GC lead after this stage. And yeah, Jaco won a Giro TT with two different riders last year. And we see with all these riders dropping off, Haig and Bahrain kind of had an Israel rider get in the way. But yeah, Kel put Simon Yates just in his pocket, puts him in his little pocket, and then brings him. Maybe they don't have pockets in these skin suits, so he basically just drafts him. And then Simon Yates and Matthews finish it off. Huge time. Sub 34 minutes, like nearly 60 Ks an hour. I was like, I don't even know if Jumbo can beat that. Ineos had not their best team here for a TTT. Tarling obviously is the one, but no Ganna. He just won in Tirreno Adriatico yesterday. Danny Martinez is their GC leader. And at T1, or the only intermediate check, it wasn't looking good. They went with the strategy of keeping the team together late. They only started dropping riders off with 1,500 meters to go and basically did a sprint lead out. The problem was Danny had too much left in the tank and Narvaez was kind of still there. I think that's Narvaez, which that makes no sense because he's not going for GC. So didn't really, that was a shocking time for Ineos, frankly. 45 seconds down. Pogacar and UAE warming up. They were expected. People were thinking, 30 to 45 seconds they'd lose on Jumbo-Visma, who've got a stacked TTT team. And UAE didn't start well. Like, they looked like they didn't know the order and going into the start. And then Großschartner through this corner, which Jumbo had trouble with too, he gets put off the back. And yet, at the intermediate check, they were looking pretty good. Bjerg, Großschartner, Pogacar, they're obviously good in the TT, but with 11 minutes left or 10 minutes left, they had four riders left. So a completely different strategy. Bjerg then did a huge pull, and they had two riders left for the last 2.5 minutes. None of the other top GC teams operated this way, but I guess, maybe Pogacar, if he'd pulled longer, he wouldn't have been able to sprint like this and then would have gone faster overall with riders being able to recover, or maybe he's just got this superb burst and this was the best way they could have done it. Regardless, UAE set a much better time than people were expecting, only 19 down on Jaco. Other teams that did pretty well and overperformed, I would say, were FDJ. David Gaudu going to be very happy that he could be dragged along by Stefan Kung. They were only 10 seconds down on Jaco Alula. Bora set an okay time for Schachmann. Jorgensen, Movistar couldn't really get in that close. He was about where Bahrain were, but it was time for the big boys, the big stage favourites. A lot of pressure on them. They got current TT World Champion, Rowan Dennis, multiple-time TT World Champion, Affini, some of the best rulers in the world in Van Hooydonk, but Dennis, I think it was, had the same trouble in that corner, and he got put off the back. Not as bad as Großschartner. Then they got into their rhythm, Jumbo-Visma. They got Koy, a sprinter who maybe hasn't done too many TTs before, but sprinters are often pretty good at a flat TT like this. He was taking a short pull, though. You notice here, he only did a 15-second pull, so I guess they weren't expecting him to be their strongest TT rider. They got, Vingegaard looks so small next to all these huge rouleurs, doesn't he? He's a great time trials himself. But at the intermediate check, less than a second quicker than Jaco Alula. Pressure was on Jumbo-Visma. Tratnik on the front. Jaco in the hot, cold, actually quite cold, hot seat, looking on nervously. And Jumbo did a pretty similar strategy to Ineos. They had 6 riders left with 3Ks to go. They started dropping them off a little bit around the same time. 5 riders left with 1,100 meters. They basically did a sprint lead out. The difference was, although similar to Jaco, who kept Matthews hoping for him to get the yellow jersey, and Foss kind of blocked in Tratnik there, might have cost him half a second. They seemed to want Van Hooydonk to go into the leader's jersey because he took 2 bonus seconds yesterday. He came in with this group rather than doing a death pool. Tratnik leading them in, still quick enough. 4 seconds quicker than Jaco. They picked it up in the second half. They got the stage win locked in, right? EF had set off, and I thought EF would do pretty well, but they don't have the firepower, the Palmares of the Jumbo-Visma riders in the time trial. But damn, EF were well drilled. but still 10 seconds behind at T1 in his media. I was like, yeah. And then there was no coverage of them at all. And suddenly Magnus Cor is sprinting and we see green. That's the color green. 5 seconds. And he's just not able to beat Jumbo Visma. But that would have been a nervous moment for them, only winning by a second and a half. But it does mean Magnus Cor goes into the leader's jersey because he took bonus seconds on the sprint yesterday. Jumbo Visma winning the stage, but I think less time than they would have hoped for against Pogacar and UAE, with Pogacar having taken 12 bonus seconds in the previous 2 stages. In terms of GC, Vingegaard is the best placed GC contender, but Simon Yates is within 4 seconds of him, so it's all to play for. This. The race is set up perfectly. Here's what the Dane had to say after the stage.
Yeah, it's incredible to have so many strong guys with me, and of course we are very happy about the victory today, and yeah. In the end, it was a very nice day for us, and I'm very happy and thankful for the team I have.
And it was important for you to hit hard to gain precious seconds on Tadej, Pogacar and others for the GC.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's today is a very important stage. Of course, maybe in the end we had hoped to gain even more, but yeah, we take every second we can get, and I'm of course very happy with how the outcome is.
But I hope you enjoyed the video. Got an uphill finish tomorrow. Pogacar is the heavy favourite to win that and probably take more bonus seconds. I'll see you with a recap of that then. Ciao.